And after a good night's sleep, it's time to get up and get back to work. So we're going to head straight out of the Roaming Spirits Inn, where we spent a lovely, comfortable night. And I think what we'll do before we head into the gallery and start our second day of work as the new gallery secretary, we should head over here to the upper crust clothing and get ourselves a little more suitable attire, because this armor is not really suitable and neither is the shield. So
yes,
shall get something a little bit
only
more
quality goods for sale here.
Secretarial.
What?
Maybe the blue suede shoes. And no, we don't need a bronze necklace. Blue velvet outfit. And I think we're good to go.
Thank you for your business.
So
Bye.
I'm going to dash around the corner here and just slip those on real quick. Oh, try and sort out my inventory. And there we go. And I don't think the sword and shield really set off that gown very well, so let's get rid of those. There we go. Oh, except for those gauntlets, I don't think so. And that's a little more with it, I think. And we're going to head right over into the gallery and pick up where we left off yesterday. And what happened at the end of yesterday is we ended up with 3 particular leads to follow. And there are still 3, I think, more staff members to meet. So let's jump right in. Morning, Hannah. That was Hannah Phelan. So the 3 leads that we need to follow up on are the curator mentioned that Donovan had found funds for his expedition to the Gerald Mountains. So we need to go ask him where he found the funds from. That's Donovan, the head of the Dragon Display.
How can I help you? Go ahead, please.
And once again, I'll just read off this. You found funds for the expedition. Yes, it's true. I finally have the funds, so can leave as soon as all's prepared. I would rather keep the source to myself right now. It's not what you're thinking. They are from legitimate source. I didn't steal the crown, if that's what you're thinking. I suppose it does look a little suspicious. The crown goes missing and suddenly I have enough funds for my expedition. The truth is that they're from a private investor. I didn't tell Margaret because I made a deal with the investor. He's a minor noble from the Imperial City. He wants a return on his investment. Any treasure found is split 50-50. Of course, you know that dragons are hoarders of gold and treasure. It is likely that if we do find a live dragon, we will find treasure in its lair. You do believe me, right? Look, you can go ask him yourself. His name is Arnis Raymond, and he is staying at the Royal Hotel. And that is exactly what we're going to do. We are going to head over to the Royal Hotel and ask Arnis Raymond and find out what room he's in, whether or not Donovan's actually telling the truth about getting the funds for his expedition. And I believe I did, I've featured the Royal Hotel, and I did in the previous videos, and also did a video on the quest in there. That was interesting. But right now we'll head straight and do the logical thing and ask the secretary.
Welcome to Pell's Gate, friend.
Where's Arnis Raymond? One moment, please. Ah, yes, he's staying in the Green Rose Room, up on the 2nd floor. Have a nice day. You too.
How are you?
Let's head straight up here and grab ourselves Arnis Raymond. This is a pretty long quest, if you haven't gathered already.
What is it now?
There's the Green Rose Room, and you must be Arnis Raymond.
I'm waiting.
Deal with Donovan Fetcher? Yes, that is right. I have supplied the funds for the expedition to find live dragons in the Gerald Mountains. So Donovan was telling the truth.
Stop talking.
We did stop talking. Donovan was telling the truth. So that lead has resulted in a dead end. Now there's still 2 more leads to follow up on. And, of course, the 3 more staff members to talk to. So The next lead I think we'll follow up on is the one involving the janitor. Now, Bronwyn, the head of the Alien display, says that the janitor, she thinks the janitor's on skooma. I don't see the janitor around. Is he in his closet? His office? Ah, he's standing on his shelf.
What?
Let's see. We'll ask you. Artemis Black. I owes a lot to Artemis. He got me this job here in the gallery. We used to be friends when we was lads. He got me out of Elm Street and probably saved me life. I wasn't doing so good living on the street and making me way as a thief. Bronwyn. In the background you can hear the physics on one of the items he's standing on. The half-breed girl, I've been keeping an eye on her. I would bet a few septims she's behind the theft of the crown. Well, it's in her blood, innit? Half Imperial and half Wood Elf. You can't go mixing blood like that, you know. It makes a madness in the spawn. How charming. Darren Oslan. Shifty character, if I ever did see one. Donovan. I'm glad I didn't grow up with a name like Fetcher. Me too. Hannah. They all think she's a sweet, innocent thing, but she ain't. She has all the airs and graces, but I knows one from the street. Don't be fooled, she's a sharp one. She looks just like a woman I knew down on Elm Street that used to sell herself. Of course, she denies it, but I never forget her face. Rachel, what about her? She does some paintings and such, don't she? Solomon, nervous sort, and he jumps clear in the air when you talk to him. Yeah, we found that too, I think. It's your job. Name's Lonan Freeze. I'm the janitor here. Just so you understand from the start, I ain't at your beck and call. You make a mess, you clean it up yourself. So, the theft looks like a professional job to me. And that's the janitor.
You too.
Yeah, you too. We are going to come back and follow up that lead that Bronwyn set us on and see if we can find his skooma. But right now, I'm going to try and catch Rachel Renoir, the head of the Hall of Masterpieces, in her office. If we could... Yes, finally.
What is it now?
Ah, Rachel.
Welcome to Pell's Gate, friend.
So, what's your job? What do I do? I'm Rachel Renoir, the manager of the Hall of Masters. There is not a thing about Picasso or Monis I don't know. We have the works of the very greatest artists here. Let's ask her about Artie. Dear Artie, he's such a good man. Don't let his gruff manner deceive you. The man has a good heart. Bronwyn is a lovely girl. She can't help her unfortunate parentage. It is a shame, though. The world has a certain view on half-breeds. She was very lucky Margaret gave her this job, but there have been complaints. Darren. He's the sort of man that has no time for fools, and he considers everyone a fool unless they prove themselves otherwise. But he really is very nice once you get to know him, and he you. Donovan. A handsome young man. Shame he's more interested in finding his dragon bones than finding a good wife. He would make some woman a good husband. Hannah Phelan. Ah, yes, Hannah, quite the pretty girl. Popular with the men, if you know what I mean. I think it will only lead to trouble in the end. Solomon. Very nervous and shy, but once you get him talking, you can see he's actually very nice. I feel sorry for him, though. We all know he's madly in love with Hannah, but she refuses to have anything to do with him. Not that I blame her. He's not much to look at, certainly not when compared with Darren and Donovan. The janitor. He's an interesting one, don't you think? Yeah, okay. What do you think of the theft? I worked in my exhibits most of that night. At midnight, I met Artie in the cafe for a drink. I didn't see anything strange, but I tell you the crown is not all that's gone missing around here recently. Over the past few weeks, I've had quite a few septims disappear from my office. Only yesterday, 40 more vanished. That's pretty interesting.
Be seeing you.
Make a note of that while we go and search the janitor's closet. I'm hoping he's out of there right now. Right, so Bronwyn said, the janitor's on skooma. Where's the janitor? I hope he's out of his office. Get out of your office or closet. Yes, he's out. Okay. If he's on skooma, it's going to be in here somewhere. So let's just tear the place apart. Nope. Oh, yes. She was right. Okay, she said confront him with it. and then maybe he'll talk about the theft. And he suddenly appeared, which
What is it now?
very good,
Yes?
because we can ask him right now. I found your skooma. What? Where did you get that? You've been snooping around. Let's keep this between us. I could lose me job. Artemis really put himself out to get me the job, and I had quit, honest. Man, how can you afford all this skooma? I didn't steal the crown, if that's what you was thinking. Just a few septims here and there from some of the officers. Well, Rachel Renoir just mentioned that she lost. Hang on. Look, I know you was here to find the crown. I read a letter about it in the curator's office. Maybe I did see something that night, and that information got to be worth something. I heard that someone from here had a key made down the Rat's Nest on Elm Street. Ain't no one goes down to the Rat's Nest unless they is up to something. You won't tell the curator, will you, please? I don't want to end up back on Elm Street begging for coins. So Rachel mentioned just a moment ago that she's had gold stolen from her office. So now we know who's doing that. But thinking on it, he that doesn't necessarily mean he stole the crown, although he did give us a valuable bit of information. So we have a option here. We can say, you did the crime, you pay for it. Go to the curator and tell Margaret that he has been on skooma. He will be fired from the gallery. He will no longer be part of the quest. And the next time you go down to Elm Street, you'll meet him down there and he'll be begging. He'll recognize you and he'll try and kill you for ruining his life, which you did, you nasty person, for telling on him. But if you don't want to take that route, you can say, fine, I won't tell her. And he stays working in the gallery, stays as part of the quest, and he has some interesting dialogue and insights later in the quest. So I think we'll go with that. Fine, I won't tell her. You is a kinder sort. I promise I won't never steal again. So from this point, this ends this lead. We cannot go to Margaret now and tell her that he's on skooma. We cannot go back to Bronwyn and tell her that he's on skooma. If we'd taken the other option, we could have done those. Told Bronwyn, yeah, you were right, the guy's on skooma. But it doesn't look like he stole the crown. Now, there is one other person we have yet to meet on the staff, and I'm hoping he's in his office, and of course that is Artemis, and then we'll follow up on that last lead that we had. So Artemis should be, here's his office. I'm hoping he's in here. Really, yes. There you go.
What do you want?
Artemis Black, head of the Egyptian display. As he says, I'm head of the Egyptian display. The name is Artemis Black. Let's ask him about Bronwyn, the wood elf, or half wood elf, I should say. Her father was an imperial. I'm amazed Margaret hired a half-breed. I feel it lowers the tone of the gallery. Darren is a fine man, been here a long time. Donovan. Donovan's a really good sort, a good man with good morals. Hannah is a lovely girl, very accommodating. She's been helping me with my studies. Oh, has she now? Rachel is a lovely woman. We meet for coffee every day at noon in the cafe. Solomon, he's a strange one, very quiet, but he knows his job very well. Did you know he can speak Daedric? Very few people can speak full Daedric. That was very important. Remember that. The janitor. He's an old friend. I got him the job here after he fell on hard times. When I found him, he was a skooma addict begging on Elm Street, but he has kicked the skooma habit. Good thing, too. It's disgusting and expensive habit. So, I have my own ideas about who stole the crown. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it was that Valenwood girl Bronwyn. You can't trust her a lot.
You too.
So we've talked to all the staff, and we're going to follow the last lead, which is, oh, bye. He's going out to lunch. The very last lead is who is writing to Bronwyn these terrible letters, which are basically, get out or die, you filthy half-breed bitch. This is your last warning. So we spoke to all the staff, and if you're paying attention, you noticed that there were 2 members of staff that do not like Bronwyn and the fact that she's half Imperial and half Wood Elf. And those 2 are the janitor and Artemis Black. So now we're trying to find out who wrote this letter. And I think it's fairly logical to assume at this point that it's actually of those two, that it is one of those two. And of those two, it's actually Artemis. Because if you look at how the letter is worded, get out or die, punctuation is correct, spelling is correct. Well, the janitor wasn't exactly very educated, was he? So let us search Artemis's office and see if we can find any proof to back up our suspicions. Check his desk. Ooh, safe key. We'll go into that later. And just take a good look around here. What's this book? Is there anything? Okay. Oh, note to Bronwyn. Leave the gallery now, filthy crossbreed, or something very bad will happen to you. So, we know who's been writing those pretty nasty notes. To Bronwyn. I'm going to check out his safe later because there's something very important there, which is not necessary to go into right now, especially as I'm running out of time.
Good afternoon.
Where are you? Oi, oi, oi. There you are. Right.
What can I do for you?
Now we can confront him with this letter. I found this letter in your office. What were you doing snooping around my office? Well, yes, I did write that letter and others. I've been putting them on Bronwyn's desk. Just trying to scare her off. I didn't mean any harm. And you can tell him, keep up the good work. We don't need filthy half-breeds here. Or you can say, stop writing these letters. I will, I promise. Just don't tell Margaret, please. Or he'll lose his job. Okay, so we have exhausted all the leads that we ended up with yesterday. And at this point, we're like, well, what is the next step? And when this happens in the game, what you need to do is head to your office and check your pigeonhole and see if you have been given any work to do. So head round to the back, and of course this is our office, and that was Margaret there. And yes, we have received some work. So, secretary, I hope you do not mind my coming to you about this. The thing is that I saw something the night the crown was stolen. I don't feel I can tell anyone else, as any of the staff could have stolen the crown. For all I know, I could be telling the thief themselves. However, you only just joined the gallery staff, therefore I hope I can trust you. I would have gone to the town guard, but I am sure you've heard somewhat of my past. Who's this? Ah, Hannah Falan. She was a prostitute on Elm Street. I don't think they would listen to me. She might have a point there. Please come to my office and I can tell you what I saw that night. It could lead to the thief being caught. Right. So that's the next lead. And take a hint. Anytime you get some instructions or some work in your pigeonhole, take the envelope, because this would get really, really crowded if you didn't, because you're going to receive a lot of work throughout this quest. So let's just check and see if Hannah's actually in her office. She's not. At this point, I'm going to wait for her to come back from lunch. So I'm going to sit there and twiddle our thumbs and wait for her. Come on, Hannah. I think they take a 2-hour, maybe 3-hour lunch. Right, she should be back in just, there she is. Hey, Hannah.
What do you want?
Right. You sent me a note? Yes, I'm glad you came. It's just that I saw something very odd the night the crown was stolen. I was working in my office. It was very late. I heard fast footsteps as though someone was running right outside my office. I opened my door a crack and looked out. I saw Solomon come out of Margaret's office, and then he ran past and out of the door into the gallery. I thought it was very odd at the time. What could he have been doing in her office at that time of night? Okay, that's very interesting.
You too.
I think that's the first real lead we've got. So let's head on, and confront Solomon about this information. If you recall, Solomon is the head of the creature displays, and his office is located at the back of one of the displays. Oh, I love the aquarium. Right. Right through the aquariums into the forest display. We'll just admire this as we head on by. And into the, I think the domestic display. Over the red rope and hope that Solomon's in here and we can confront him about this. Of course he's not in here. That would be too easy. He's obviously having a late lunch. So come on, Solomon. Yeah. There he is. Oi, you.
What do you want?
What a word. You were in Margaret's office? Me? No, I wasn't in Margaret's office the night of the theft. Did someone say I was there? Actually, you can say I will not reveal who saw you, and he'll say, well, you have no proof then, and sod off, basically. Or we can say, Hannah saw you. Let's do that. Hannah? No, she must have mistaken me for someone else. Right, and that ends that. Or does it? For now, we are going to head back to our office. We have followed up on that lead, and that is as far as we can go at this point with that. So what we actually have is an eyewitness saying that Solomon was seen exiting the curator's office on the night of the theft when he shouldn't have been in there. And what was he doing in there? And of course he denies it. So we've had a few good leads. The one about a key being made down in the Rat's Nest in Elm Street, the fence shop, and the one about Solomon. So have we got... Yes. More work. Secretary, I have a rather urgent and delicate matter that I need you to handle. Usually I would handle such matters myself. However, with the recent happenings in the gallery, I cannot leave. I need you to go to Woodland Village. There is a man called Rupert Wilton that does some research work for the gallery. I need you to fire him. I need you to fire him. His work has been rather poor, and it is time to let him go. That's from Margaret, the curator. So Margaret wants us now to leave Pell's Gate. And here's Pell's Gate, where we are right now. Head all the way up there over to Woodland Village in order to fire someone. And since that's quite a journey, I'm actually going to do that in the next video. And so I will leave this video off now and meet you in Woodland Village in the next video.